tonight.
I just want to show her what hard work does. I think that's the biggest thing. I want her to grow up and hear, what her dad has done before her, and for her to see, what hard work really can give you in life. So, she's my biggest motivation. She's taught me way more than I could ever teach her, but I think this is a good step for me.
You're headed to Detroit, the Motor City. What do we think of the nickname Motorcade? Can we get that going?
Yeah, I love it. And shout out, hold on, shout out Detroit. Shout out Detroit. I got to buff up, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Detroit.
Oh, you're ready.
Buffed up now. Which camera I'm looking at? I'm in this one?
Yeah, you're in this one right here.
Detroit, I'm all the way in. Detroit Pistons, I'm all the way in. Let's do it.
Congratulations, Cade.
Man, let me tell you, they loved him before. Having spent some time and lived in the state of Michigan, they're really going to love him now. They love somebody that embraces them, and Cade Cunningham's doing that.
Absolutely. And look, Jay, tomorrow when you tweet out your classic Young Jeezy lines, make sure you at Cade Cunningham for putting on those shades, okay?
So Cade Cunningham is going real, recognize real. To the Pistons at number one. Now, the Houston Rockets are on the clock, and it's quite unusual for the Rockets draft room to be open for business in the draft. They haven't made a first-round pick since 2015. They haven't drafted in the top 5 since they took Yao Ming in 2002. So you saw the candidates there. You have Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, Jalen Suggs. What should they do first?
They should go with Jalen Green. To me, this is a no-brainer. You have to draft this young kid. This kid has superstar written all over him. He has the flash. Look at the suit game. Look at the jewelry. He reminds me a lot of LaMelo Ball. And like Mike said, when you play in the G League and you play in the Pro League like LaMelo Ball did, it gets you ready for the NBA game. This kid is NBA ready, and he's very marketable.
Horribly disappointed in you, Perk. You got a big guy on the board, Evan Mobley, and you're walking away from him?
Because I'm jealous.
You guys have talked about this. Really, either of these three, any of these three would be tremendous picks. They all have bright futures in front of them. Most believe it is going to be Jalen Green out of the G League. Adam Silver has the answer.
With the second pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets select Jalen Green from Merced, California, and the NBA G League Ignite.
Jalen Green is quite a victory for the G League, which has continued to grow. He learned to play basketball on a California farm. He lived on the edge of an almond farm in some of the rich California farmland, a cracked driveway where he learned to play the game. He's the second #1 recruit in the ESPN 100 to skip college. Has over 1 million followers on Instagram because he's figured out how to dress right here. He's a fashionable guy both on and off the floor.
And Jalen Green has the potential to lead the NBA in scoring one day, and it starts with his ability to get downhill to the front of the rim. He's explosive, he's dynamic, great in mid-range areas as well. There you see the footwork. I mean, he creates space there. The footwork, again, 1-2 step, can really shoot it off the bounce, and physically reminds me a little bit of Zach LaVine, okay? He's that type of athlete, springs in his legs, head at the rim type of dunker. That's exactly what we've seen Zach LaVine do his entire NBA career coming out of UCLA. And as a scorer, got a little bit of Brad Beal in his game, okay? He creates space as impressively as any teenager I've seen. We saw Brad Beal lead the NBA in scoring. I think Jalen Green one day will do the same.
And he's got all the tools to be an outstanding defender, but he's not there yet. That's the next step for him, is to work on his defense. He's only in the 16th percentile in pick-and-roll defense, and he could be a great defender if he works on it.
But Jalen Green opted not to go to college, among guys who are from U.S. high school since 2006. That's the start of the so-called one-and-done era, where you had to wait a year past your high school graduating class to be eligible for the NBA draft. LaMelo Ball went 3rd overall. Now Jalen Green passes that by going 2nd to the Rockets. And you see, greeting Adam Silver, the moment that they waited for. There is the report card on Jalen Green. How do you assess Schmitz's report card here?
You know what? Hey, look, Smith is on point like Rondo right now. I can't even deny he has done his homework. Look, I don't know if we're distant cousins or brothers or whatever the case may be. But we think alike right now. I don't have anything negative to say.
I love
but
it.
We just getting started.
We're locked in.
Don't get too comfortable.
It's a long night. There'll be time. People get cranky by the end. You have the over-under at pick 28 for Billis. You might be a winner. Rachel Nichols and Richard Jefferson are with us now. I might go before that. Who knows? Richard, how are you got
mechanics? He's not yet a stretch 4 or 5, but I think he can be in time because his shot is fundamentally sound.
And physically, 7 feet tall, 7'4" wingspan. You see there has some similarities to guys like a young Chris Bosh, a young Anthony Davis, and I think he's going to be able to offer that type of versatility, like you said, Jay, and he's unique, okay? Offensively, he's got some of those unicorn skills. I mean, that's not normal, okay? 7 feet tall, to be able to go length of the floor, 94 feet, not normal, but Evan Mobley, not a normal prospect.
You know what? I'm done with the report card because Mike is knocking it out the box. I will say this. This kid Mobley reminds me of a modern-day Bill Russell. And here's the thing about him, right? He could have a Hall of Fame career if he buys into being a big that could do guard things. But if he come into the league wanting to be a guard that is forced to play the big, then that's when we have a problem. But if he embraces the role of actually being a center, protecting the basket, rim running, doing things around the paint that could do guard things, he's going to have a Hall of Fame career.
Well, you're the most popular guy in Cleveland right now because you just predicted they're going to win 11 championships like Bill Russell. With Evan Mobley instead of...
Well, I know one thing. Before this pick, Kobe Albin was sweating like somebody was chasing.
All right, the Raptors are on the clock right now. We assume that's going to be Jalen Suggs, a fourth member of this elite 4-member class. At least that's the way most have broken it down going in. I want to take a step back to the trade that Woj talked about. Russell Westbrook headed to the Lakers. That deal has been agreed to. What do you think of it?
I love it. I love it. For the simple fact, when you look at Russell Westbrook going back home and the way that he finished last year with the Wizards, the second part of the season, he's polarizing. LeBron James is getting up in age. I want people to take LeBron James out of the equation and focus on Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis. LeBron James is ready to take a back seat, and Russell Westbrook is that guy that's going to bring that Mamba mentality. He's the guy that doesn't take possessions off. He's the guy that's going to put that key in Anthony Davis' back. You know, when we question, hey, is Anthony Davis taking games off? Why is he not playing hard? You can't do that with Russell Westbrook on the court.
So certainly the Lakers have some ground to cover, but they've now got the stars to be able to do it. Here are the details of the trade that Woj told us about. Lakers get Russell Westbrook and a couple of second-round picks. The Wizards receive one of the many prides of Flint, Michigan, Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who once upon a time was the first-round pick of the Detroit Pistons, and also the first-round pick tonight, which will be 22nd overall. The Lakers will make it. It will be on its way to Washington. So the Raptors are on the clock. Kyle Lowry, unrestricted free agent. Jalen Suggs of Gonzaga, the guy that most people have slotted to go there. What do you think about him ushering in a new era in Toronto, if that is indeed the pick?
I think he fits perfectly with Fred VanVleet. I mean, Jalen Suggs is a guy who can play on the ball or off the ball. And, you know, the defensive intensity that he brings, like, that's the Toronto Raptors' identity. So I liken him to a young Drew Holiday, and I think he'll have that type of winning impact in the NBA.
Suggs was all-state player in both football and basketball in the state of Minnesota. He credits football for the vision when he played safety and the ability to fit those passes in, like we saw some three-quarter court length bounce passes for Gonzaga to his time as a quarterback. But the Raptors, that's not official yet. The Raptors, the pick is in. Let's go to Adam Silver in the podium.
With the fourth pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Scotty Barnes from Florida State University.
Wow. Look at that.
Wow. This is what draft night is all about.
An emotion, competitive spirit. Scotty Barnes happy to go into the top 4. Jalen Suggs showing his appreciation for that. You know, so many.
Scotty.
Leonard Hamilton at Florida State. Happy with those moves that Scotty Barnes is putting on. Look, he is the quintessential teammate. People in Tallahassee just rave about his character. 3-time USA basketball gold medalist. He watched Magic. He emulated his game. Wasn't, the greatest scorer, averaged about 10 points a game, but he had 10, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, an elite group in the ACC that's been able to do that.
He is a low-maintenance, unselfish glue guy that has freakish length and plays the point guard. He's got point guard skills and versatility. His versatility is on display mostly as a defender. Another guy who can truly guard all 5 positions on the floor. He can guard a small point guard, stay in front, bother him with his length. He can switch off onto a big guy. And this was a play that he made against Indiana early on in the season. He also made the game-winning play at the end. He's just excellent, very smart, does a great job, I think, of what's necessary at the time. He led the team in assists, over 4 per game, finds people, gets steals. The one criticism you have, and here's a winning play at the end of a ball game. This was the one against Indiana we were talking about a little bit before. Did a little short Euro step, slowed down, got it off the glass, wound up winning the game in overtime. He is not a shooter. 27% from 3, only 62% from the free throw line. He's got to do a better job there. His mechanics have to improve for him to be a better shooter.
And Scotty reminds me of a young Draymond Green, and you don't say that often. Okay, Draymond is 1 of 1, but he brings that type of defensive intensity, switching ball screens, getting on the floor for loose balls, and then has the ability to operate like a point forward or a point center, creating in the open court. Everybody loves playing with him, and he is going to win championships. He's going to win playoff games, just like we've seen from Draymond Green. He's got 3 gold medals already, and I call him the people's champ because everybody loves Scotty Barnes.
Win championships with Toronto, he can be that type of player to build.
I think he can. He's a culture driver. He's going to change your locker room from day one.
Well, can we take a moment of silence for Pascal Siakam? Because I think he's about to be on his first thing smoking out of Toronto, right? This is why you can't never put nothing past beside your jury. He does the unthinkable, right? And we know that Pascal Siakam had problems with the organization, kind of don't want to be there with Nick Nurse, but we also know that Scotty Barnes, right, he could get better. The player development in Toronto has been tremendous, and the sky's the limit for this kid.
So the first surprise of the night, Scotty Barnes, small surprise, going to Toronto. Magic.